the origin and source of sickness, disease, infirmity, or decay. An origin is the point or place where something begins. In other words, where something started. So it's the start, the beginning of something. The Bible tells us, and you have to go to the origin, remember? So the beginning, the starting point, which is the book of Genesis, the book of beginnings. When you go to the book of beginnings, you don't find such a thing as sickness. You don't find such a thing as disease. You don't find such a thing as infirmity, that is defects of the body or weaknesses, something being wrong. You don't find people decaying, all right? It didn't exist in the beginning. So where did it start? When did it start? What was its beginning stage? Then also want to deal with the source. Remember, we're dealing with the origin and the source, okay? Now, source is where something originates, all right? So the source is defined as a place, person, or thing from which something originates or can be obtained. In other words, where you got it from. So where did it start? What is the origin of it? And who started it? Where does it come from? When God created Adam, God didn't create Adam to there was no sickness in the beginning, so he didn't create him to be sick. Neither was there any sickness in the beginning. There was no disease. There was no defects of the body. Neither was man created to decay, that is to grow old and to grow weak, to age. So where did it come from if God didn't create it? If God is not the source? So where did it come from? Origin of sickness all comes down to one source, which is death, also known in the scripture as the curse. But the different sources today, because of that, are more than one. So the origin of sickness, the origin of disease, the origin of infirmities, the origin of decay is death, also known as the curse. It's also the source, the main source. But many different people use that source in order to still, bring out, create sickness, disease, infirmity, decays. One of those sources being the devil and his demons. Then you also have the source of what? The fact that man will create diseases. We'll not go into that one, that is man-made. But we want to look at the source, the original source of sickness, disease, infirmities, and decay, which is death, also known as the curse.